So today I want to give you my help on the subject that is very sensitive in Dubai, which is how do you find a good agent? So lots of the people coming to me, they are asking, look, I speak to so many agents, they all say different things. How do I know if that agent is good? How do I know who to work with? How do I know who to trust? So I've made a list of 10 questions that I want to share with you, which for me are the right question to ask an agent and then to clarify your mind on how good they are for you. Obviously, most of the agents will probably disagree with me, but this is my point of view and I'm happy to share it with you. My name is Pierre. I work in the commercial real estate in Dubai for 9 years and I specialize in the highest offices in the world in the Burj Khalifa. The purpose of this video is that I will impersonate a client. So I'm the client and I want to ask different questions to an agent and find out if he's good. So as a client, I will ask the agent talking to me if I find him online, if he finds me, if I get connected to it, if somebody refers that agent. Obviously, it's always out of goodwill, but I need to qualify that agent because it's very important. It's going to be a partnership, a relationship, so I need to know who they are. So my first question will be to that agent, Mr. Agent or Mrs. Agent, for how long have you been in Dubai? The way I'm going to get an answer, usually you will have experienced agent and a little less experienced agent. Experienced agent, they will usually tell you they have been in Dubai since 2019 and before. Which are the experienced agent? They saw Dubai in the good days, they saw Dubai in the not so good days, and they saw different vibes in the markets. It's a cycle, so it goes up and down. So they have experience up, they have experience down, and they know what was before COVID and 2020. Those agents, usually they know what they are talking about. They have seen Dubai growing, so they have a better expertise on the commercial side of it, on how Dubai is going and what has been the developments for the last few years. Then you have different type of agents, which are the one that came after the COVID crisis. They came to Dubai, they maybe didn't know Dubai, and they find it very attractive here, and they are happy with the market because for the last 2 years and a half, everything goes up, everything is green, everything is happy days. And those agents, usually the way they talk to the investors or the commercial inquiry people is that everything is good, market is this, it's going up 30%, it continues to go up till forever. And when you ask them, what is your opinion? They say it's good, everything is good. So they don't really have an opinion on where Dubai is going and where the rent will be. So my views on this is that if you have a commercial project in Dubai, you should only talk to experienced agents because they will have a longer vision and better explanation on what you could face as an investor in the country in terms of commercial real estate. So let's say that the agent passed the first question, he's experienced, he knows what he's talking about. So then you need to ask him what he specializes in. You have lots of agents that will answer, look, sir, madam, I specialize in Dubai. So that guy is selling hotels, he's selling plots, he's leasing apartments, he's doing fit out, he's helping people to build villas, he's selling offices. So he does everything, which usually when you do everything, you also do nothing. So you should stay away from those agents. You should work with agents that have their own specification and specialization. By specialization, it could be in an area. So let's say I'm a Dubai Marina specialist. I know everything about Dubai Marina. This is a good point. Or they could be specified in properties. Like I'm a, let's say, penthouse expert. Or on the commercial, I specialize in offices. For me, for example, I specialize in the highest offices in the world. This could be something that is attractive because you know that you won't have to talk to different agents from that specific niche market. You have the specialist and you can go from there. The third question that you should ask your agent is basically you say, okay, I'm looking for, let's say we'll talk commercial. I'm looking for an office in downtown. I want 200 square meter. I want something ready. I want something vacant and something with a good view. And my budget is, let's say, 5 million, which is impossible. So you ask that agent, Mr. Agent, Mrs. Agent, do you think that with that budget and my requirements, I can find something? There you will have two answers. The first one is, yes, of course, let me work on it, let me check and I'll call you back. So you feel like the guy is working on it. Usually he will never call you back and he didn't qualify you. So he just said yes because he's a yes man or yes woman, but he didn't really listen to you. The agent that listens to you, he will say, okay, look, these are ideal requirements, but in reality, this requirement is not possible. Maybe that one is too difficult. So they will somehow lower your expectation and say, look, with that money or with that specifications, there's not much available today. Maybe you should increase the budget or you should decrease the requirements so we can find something that suits you better. These are the agents you need to talk to. You need to ask them if this is a legitimate request, if what you want exists, because you don't want to waste time. So you need to make sure that that agent knows if that exists or not. One of the questions that you should ask the agent as well is how much is the cost of the commission? So obviously a real estate service is a service and you have to pay for it. Usually you pay for it when the job is done. In special circumstances, if there is a lot of work to be done in advance, some agent might ask for consultancy fees, saying, look, Mr. Investor, what you want is very difficult. We need to give you guideline on licensing, on pricing. There is different things we need to help you with, which are chargeable because you will get knowledge from us. So this is something that some agents do. And obviously, if the investor takes the property at the end, this can be deducted from the whole commission. So it's very important to not be surprised by commission because sometimes it's very heavy money, depends on what you buy or what you rent. So you should always ask your agent in advance, look, Mr. Agent, Mrs. Agent, if I buy this property, how much is going to be the cost? So usually for the sales, the cost is 2% of the property that you purchase. Same on the rental, the price varies. So from agency to agent, the price is different. Sometimes it will be 5% of the rental amount. Sometimes it will be 10% of the whole contract for 5 years. So always agree on the terms and the conditions in advance. If you want, you can even do a mandate to the tenant saying, okay, to the agent, say, look, this will be your fees. If you find me this, I want to be tied up with you for 1 month, 2 months. These are the things you need to do for me. So always agree on paperwork so there is no surprise at the end. One of the questions as well that you need to ask the agent is there any additional cost to that transaction? So sometimes agents that are not professional or not qualified for, let's say, commercial requests, they don't know what are the costs related to opening companies or to getting bank accounts or to have special approval for fit outs, this, that. So always ask based on your own knowledge from your own country, ask the expert in Dubai, if I do this project, if I take this property, is there anything that I will be facing in the future, yes or no? It's never no. There is always something to pay somewhere. There is some regulation. There is some approval that you need. So there's always something to be aware of. And the agent that tells you no usually is not the good agent. Time is very important in Dubai. Everything goes very fast. Properties are available for short term. There is lots of properties that you see available and you call an agent, say, Mr. Agent, I want this property, but somehow this property is not available because it's not because it's empty that it's available. So when you talk to the agent, after you talked about the request and he qualified your request and he say, yes, I can help you, try to find out what is the timeline to find that specific property, because what you don't want is to say, okay, Mr. Agent, Mrs. Agent, you go in your market, find me the property and get back to me. Because some properties, they will take 6 months to find. Some of them, they have to be built. Some of them, they don't even exist. So don't rely on the agent to find you something today. Tell him, look, I need within a week or two, I need few options. Can you deliver, yes or no? So always ask the agent how long it needs to find you what you want. Some agent, they will set out of the crowd because they will offer something different to the table. So one question that you can ask your agent is, okay, Mr. Agent, Mrs. Agent, is there any recommendation that you have for me? So you return the question. Usually the agent is always asking you questions, what you want, what you need, etc. But for one time you can ask the agent, based on everything that I've been telling you, is there something that you recommend me to do? So for example, for me, I have lots of clients that come from Europe, and let's say there's a bakery guy comes and say, I want to open my bakery and I want a footfall and I want to be in the street and I want people to come by walk. So if I listen to that client and he doesn't ask me which recommendation I have, first I will tell him, well, Dubai is very different. There is no footfall, there is no walking, there's no retail street life like we have in Europe. So most of these bakery, they will either be around the commercial towers or they will be in the malls. So these are things that you give to the client, which he doesn't know because he doesn't experience Dubai the same way you do. You live here, maybe he came as a tourist. He didn't really see, he was in the hotel, he was getting the bread from the hotel. So you should ask the people from Dubai, where do they buy their bread? How do they do? Where do they go? Are they ready to drive to get the bread? Are they going to the mall to get the bread? So all these things that people don't ask. So always ask your agent if he has recommendation for your own business and how to make it better in Dubai. And the following question is something very intriguing, but I think everyone has his own opinion and it's worth sharing because it comes from experience. Don't hesitate to ask your agent what are his vision on the market, because each agent has his own prediction, has his own vision. Some of them, like me, they are not really interested in sharing it to the public. But when I have private meetings with clients or conference calls, and some people are asking me, look, what are your views? You know, they know that what I'm saying is not something that I have to deliver or something that will happen. But based on my experience and my knowledge in the market and the way I see the macroeconomy, the way I see all these things moving in Dubai, they ask me, what do I believe the market will be tomorrow? Like, where should I invest? What should I do? What should I not do? Should I wait? Should I invest now? So all these questions, ask your agent what he believes, because somehow it might resonate with you and what he says makes sense for you. Then he will somehow convince you to do something that wasn't clear before. So ask him what he thinks and tell him, look, I'm not recording anything. I'm not writing. Whatever you tell me, it doesn't have to be prediction. I just want your humble opinion based on your experience. Where is the market going? Obviously, this conversation that you have with the agent is between you and the agent, and you want to hire that person because you like that person. But all well, you need to find out which company he works with, what are the ethics of the company, because you never pay the agent direct. You will pay the company, and then the company pays the agents. So it's always recommended to ask that agent to present your company. So you say, Mr. Agent, Mrs. Agent, I see you as a good person. You have a good heart. You give me good advice. But what kind of company do you work with? What are you specializing in? How many agents? How many years in the market? All this are also signs to know if you're talking to experienced agent, because experienced agent, usually they don't change company. They stay in the same company because it's stable, because it's secured, and they can do the work that they love with passion. So always ask which company it is. If you're looking for residential property, don't go for commercial real estate brokerage, vice versa. So ask, what is the company about, who they are, what they do, who are their clients, what are the latest deals they've done, where do they stand in the market, etc. This is very important to know as well from the client side. The last question is very personal, but you could also say to your agent, look, Mr. Agent, this is my dream, this is what I want to do. In reality, is it feasible? Like, is there a way that my company will not success based on my vision? Because that agent, if you tell him, look, I have doubts, I've been seeing consultancy company, I've been talking to my friends, I've been talking to lawyers, and they all told me to do this specific thing. You, and as an agent, do you believe in this? Or you're telling me that I should do things differently and think out of the box because these people, they just want to take my money and they don't really care of my business. So in the long term, is it a wrong move to maybe take that license or take that office? What do you think, Mr. Agent, Mrs. Agent? Ask them personal opinion on what you do, because sometimes they feel like they can get an easy deal with you because you want what they offer to you, but don't be shy to ask if this is the right product for you, because maybe it could come even a bigger transaction for both person, and that agent could become your friend because he trusted you by saying what he thinks, and you trusted him by listening to what he says as well. If you have comments on this question, if you have any other question that you feel we should ask agent before working with them, don't hesitate to share with them or leave a comment. And for any other inquiries, you can follow my social media on Better Call Pierre.